Good morning traders and welcome to today's live trading. I'm Luke from Discipline Trader and as usual we are on the FTSE 100. So let me quickly run you through the analysis I've done this morning. Today is actually looking like a bit of a trickier day than usual. Take yesterday for example. It looks a bit messy there, but actually we only really traded between these two bands just here, sort of the 7251 and the 7265 band, so that's fine. You know, that's really, I'll trade that all day. That's cool, but this is looking less. That's looking less likely to happen today. The first point being we've actually broken below this band comfortably, which we didn't manage to do yesterday really. So as far as trade setups go, the only one really I'm looking at would be a sort of sell from this band, the 7250 level, and what I would like to see happen is, you can see we've got a little bit. I mean, it's only had 2 touches, so it's not like not got loads of confluence, that trend line. But if price was to come up, we've got 10 minutes till the open. If price was to come up just before the open and sort of spike through this 200 to get to the close and give us a sort of sell signal, a sort of a sell pin bar, then I would jump on that straight away at 8 o'clock, 8:05, whenever that happens. So that would be nice. Failing that, as usual, I'll just be watching price action for what it does when it gets into these bands. Like I said, we have broken down below this band now, which is good to see. We're getting reactions away from this band. So if we do open and at some point start getting reactions from this band, then perfect, I'll look to trade that. There's not really much room for it to break above and retest, because I wouldn't, if it's broke above but it's still in contact with the yesterday's close and the pivot, this is sort of adding confluence to this sort of area here, as it's only a couple of points higher. I would need to see a break above that and then revisit that band. So that would be a little more difficult for price to do. So yeah, we'll see, I guess. I think at the moment we're more likely to get a sell from this band, but it just depends what price wants to do. So I'll wait for the open to happen and then we'll start looking for some trading signals. Okay, so we're just coming up to 5 to 10 and we're just getting a pin bar into the 7250 band. The interesting thing about this one is it is coming nicely into sort of these prior highs here, and sort of we've reacted a little bit. My considerations with this trade, my hesitations even with this trade, is that if price had moved up into this band and reacted quite quickly, then it makes more sense to look for that pullback to get in. What we've seen here is 1, 2, 3 spikes into this band. We've then closed into this band and immediately closed. You know, that's a decent bearish candle away from this band. That's 4 attempts within this band. That's a lot of selling that's gone on up here. So I don't really like seeing that. And also, if I bring up the hourly chart, for example, and show you this, you can see we haven't really had much of a pullback on there. And even on the 4-hour chart, if I bring that one up, like there's even less of a pullback on the higher time frames. So really, correction-wise on this market, I'd be looking down towards this sort of 7220, 7225 area where the last major swing has been up here. You know, a pullback to sort of that sort of level. I know we've tested it here, but I think that's what I'd be more comfortable taking along from, unless the 5-minute price action looks more attractive. And that's sort of what we've got here. You know, it's into structure highs on this 5-minute time frame at the moment. and we are sort of, obviously we've closed through the 200, but that's pretty flat. I'm conflicted at the moment. And as such, I just can't take the trade. There's not enough. There almost is enough to take the trade, but then there's too much in the way of the trade. There's too much against the trade as well for me, just at the moment. If we get some sort of, sounds daft, but if we get like a bit of consolidation down here, maybe a smaller signal with less risk on it, then potentially we could trade that. That said, it might just come straight up and go right back up into this band, which would be the target, and then you've missed the trade. But if that happens, then so be it. I think at the moment there's just too much in the way. We've got these sort of lows here from the consolidation as well, married with the ATMA and the 200. If it pops up, tests it, comes back down to sort of the bottom of the band and gives me a signal, then yeah, I could look at that. That would be better than the current opportunity on offer at the moment. So I think just at the moment it's just a little bit of a waiting game, unfortunately. So yeah, what I'd like to see happen, I think, is a move up, test these lows, test these moving averages, pop back down, see more rejection here, more buying come in, and then potentially look to trade this long. Failing that, the band, like I said, the band down here at the 7220 level would be good for a buy. Also, if we start breaking back down and looking for sells, then that could be okay too. Another consideration with that though is like this mini sort of band here, like an intraday band, just with yesterday's low open and today's S1 in there. So that could potentially be problematic, but because you can see obviously we've reacted from there a few times. But we'll see. We're getting this move up now. If I'd put in an order, we'd almost be triggered. Like I said, I'd like to see it come back down and maybe reject again. So I'll keep watching for now. I'll stop rambling and we'll see what happens. So we're coming up to 11:15. The last signal we were looking at is this this candle just here. I put an arrow below it just to show you which one I mean. Was that one? And we were talking about, well, I was talking about why I potentially wasn't really happy to trade it. And you can see it did move up, but it had a lot of hesitation as it did. We had this rejection here, but then immediately pushed through it. We had then another rejection candle, and then immediately pushed through it. We didn't quite get to... I mean, we got really close. It's difficult to say whether I would, if I'd have been in this trade, whether I would or wouldn't have come out at this point. I do like to come out just before the band, but that's difficult to say. And since then, we've sort of fallen away and begin to sort of chop. We do have a little bit of sort of a sloping line there, added with maybe a bit of a line here. So there's maybe a little bit of a wedge developing. Excuse me. I wouldn't look too much into that really. I think it's probably more likely that with the ECB monetary policy meeting at 12:30, a potentially high impact bit of news, maybe the markets are just going quiet for that. So as it stands, there's not really a lot to do. It's a very congested area, lots of different levels getting in the way of each other really. Obviously the close, the pivot, we've got the both moving averages. The purple one here is the 21. I don't really use this, I just put this on the other day. I can't remember why. But yeah, they're all sort of all bunched up together at the moment, so it's really difficult. It makes your analysis difficult, and if your analysis is difficult and you haven't got a picture, then you're waiting for one to develop, and that's all we can do. It's pointless me sort of forcing a trade, picking long or short. I might as well flip a coin, red or black, on roulette. It's really there's no edge here at the moment, so why trade? Yeah, there's not much to do. So I'll continue to watch. It might be a case of waiting until after 12:30, or I mean, the closer we get to that, the less inclined I am to trade. There's a few bits and pieces out in Canada and America this afternoon. Carney's speaking at 8 o'clock this evening, so that won't affect me either. So yeah, I think after 12, really, probably after 1 o'clock-ish, we're free for the afternoon from news that's going to directly impact, planned news anyway, that's going to directly impact our trading. So we'll see. I'll keep watching for now and update you when things start to happen. So we're just coming up to 20 to 3. News-wise, we don't really have anything for the rest of the day. You can see we've been chopping sideways for a while within sort of the space between these two bands. I would have loved to have just got short here, but there's just no signals, unfortunately. You know, if we look across, we spoke about this signal here. The next one we get really is probably this pin bar here, but there's no room. You know, you got to leave a couple of just over a point to get triggered above this, and then 4 points, you're into the next band, and the stop on that trade would be going up 8 to 10 points. That's not a trade I will be taking. We move up. This very, very nearly looked like it was going to be a sell signal, but the tiny body on it just put me off. It's not a candle that I'll trade usually. So again, no signal. We then get this pin bar here. Same story as the one before. You're looking 4 or 5 points, you're into the next band. That's no good considering it's going to need a 10-point stop on it. And it's just gone in that sort of vein really. No signal down here, no signal up here, no signal down here, and then again no signal from up here. It's been a bit frustrating so far, but this is really what you get in sort of holiday markets. For sure, the hourly chart, just generally chopping sideways, not really, up one candle, down the next, not really much movement one way or the other. So it's a bit annoying because yesterday was a similar sort of thing, but it just set up much better. We had clear signals from these places, clear signals. You can see from just using the same bands as yesterday, because the bands were the same yesterday. We had clear buy signals when price was moving up. We had clear sell signals for the reversals down. It got a little bit choppy in the afternoon, but it was cleaner price action than what we're getting today, unfortunately. That's Sod's Law when you come to record a video, I guess. So, I mean, it's not 3 o'clock yet. I will keep watching. You never know, we might still get a trade off yet. But at the minute, it's just chopping one way and then chopping the other. But I'll keep my eyes peeled. Okay, so not long after my little moan, we're actually going to get a trade here. Entry order sell. Let me have a look here. I want to be in at a low of, so I want to be in at 64.1. Pop that order in there. So if price starts moving back down again, it will trigger us in at 64.1. Basically all I'm looking at here is this pin bar that we've got. That's us triggered into the trade. Into the highs where it's reacted all day long. It's an actual pin bar that I can use, so I'm happy about that. What I have spotted is this sort of sloping trend line here coming up. It's sort of creating, I think we mentioned it a bit this morning, but like a wedge pattern almost. That price has been slowly condensing into. Now, if it is going to go up, I would almost expect it to like fake break this lower level anyway. So that's fine by me, because that's my profit area down here. So, or if it's going to carry on, ploughing down, that's also fine by me, because I'll still be able to get out at my profit target. Obviously, there's a chance it's just going to bust through here and carry on moving upwards, but my stop is going to be just a little bit above this high over here, so a little bit above yesterday's high, the green line, and today's R1. But yeah, basically I'm just looking for a short move down into the band below. Let's see if we get it. Okay, so it's coming up past, and we're just getting down to the band now. I'm looking to close this trade out very soon. I'm just wondering if we're going to blip down towards this band. Yeah, pretty much there. Lovely. So another trade done. We had to wait a pretty long time for that one. I wasn't sure it was ever going to materialise, to be honest. It's just one of these days. Low activity, low volatility, holiday trading, whatever you want to call it. Crap, choppy price action is what it gives you, and you've just got to be patient. Excuse me there, that's my phone. Sorry about that. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I've lost my train of thought at the time, but thank you very much for watching. I hope you do find use from these videos. If you do like it, please consider leaving a like on the video, and if you do like the content on the channel, please do subscribe. I try to do these live trading videos every week, as well as other bits and pieces. I've just done a video on my trading setup and giving you some tips and advice on how to build your own, if that is something you're looking at doing. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.